Let's do a little icebreaker. I want everyone to unmute and participate. We can make this interactive. Who is Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and what is Achintya Veda Aveda Tattva?
First one is Krishna.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead, Tulsi Mataji, and after that, Narayana Prabhu also.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavad Pranam.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavad Pranam.
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the incarnation of Lord Krishna, and he is in the mood of Srimati Radharani. Prabhuji.
Nice. Swati Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavad Pranam.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is non-different from Krishna. He introduces Hare Krishna mantra and Kirtan for us.
Okay, nice.
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Radha Krishna. Both together is the golden form of Radha Krishna.
Nice. What is Achintya Veda Aveda Tattva?
Not sure, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Anyone else? Yeah, go ahead, Mataji.
There is we are all part and parcel of Lord Krishna. All the souls have the same quality of Krishna, but quantity wisely different, Prabhuji. So that is we are same at the same time different from Krishna. Achintya Veda.
Very nice. Anyone else? Okay. Achintya means?
Inconceivable, probably.
Inconceivable. Veda means?
Different.
Difference. Aveda means?
Non-different.
Non-difference. Tattva means?
Philosophy.
Truth, absolute truth. Like, absolute. Yeah. So the philosophy that introduced by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is called Achintya Veda Abheda Tattva, which Mataji mentioned. It's inconceivable that we are, there is no difference between the individual living entity and the supreme living entity. At the same time, there is difference. What is that similarity? It is in the quality. What is the difference in terms of quantity? Okay, so that is introduced by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So we'll continue with the Madhya Lila pastimes. First, it's about the preparations for the Ratha Yatra. So we all might, the Ratha Yatra was this. Okay. Shankar Prabhuji, you raised your hand. Okay.
No, Prabhuji, accidentally.
Okay, that's fine. So in the Madhya Lila pastimes that were covered, we discussed about how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu traveled extensively in whole of South India, right? So there were a few pastimes, like for example, His Holiness Jayapataka Swami, who is a initiating spiritual master. Who is an initiating spiritual master in ISKCON. He also goes to South India on his preaching mission. And one time, many years back, when he was traveling, he was going through with all his disciples and associates through a deep forest. And in that, there was a remote village and in that, not a village, but a remote hut in the forest. And when they go near, inside from the hut, they hear the Hare Krishna Mahamantra coming out. They go inside and inquire what's going on. Like in this place, why are we able? How did you know about the Hare Krishna Mahamantra? And the people there say that, oh, this has been coming from our ancestry. Like our fathers chanted, we did the kirtan, their fathers did. And when they inquired, they found out that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also traveled through that forest during his tours in South India. So that legacy continues. And so I think there are so many places that in South India that were covered by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Jayapataka Swami, he is trying to install the the footprints of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in all the places that were known to be visited by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So he comes back from the tour of South India, and he is now focusing all his entire energy in making sure the Sankirtana movement is well established in Jagannath Puri. Why Jagannath Puri? Anyone wants to guess why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu chose Jagannath Puri?
Here, Hare Krishna Prabhuji, in the Jagannath Puri only, it's a Vipramba Dham. The separation is there only, Prabhuji. Radharani has the separation for Krishna. That Leela is there. That's why Chaitanya, I'm not sure. Chaitanya Prabhu, Mahaprabhu chose that place.
Yes. So all are right answers, but there are so many reasons. And Jagannath means the Lord of the entire universe. He resides there, and it is a very popular place. Even in those days, where the whole world, many people like around India and used to come there and participate. So, and the Lord Himself is present as in His transcendental pastimes, doing those pastimes there. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted to go there, and he decided to make it the headquarters. And Jagannath Puri is world famous for the Yatra festival, and there will be magnificent carts that leave the temple ground, and then the Lord gives the audience to everyone. And the mood of Lord Jagannath is also the same. He doesn't look at, oh, this person is a Brahmana, this person is a Vaishya, Shudra. He gives this audience to everyone. Everyone can go and enter into the Jagannath temple and take darshan. And even if somebody cannot, for some reason, due to like a physical problem or anything, cannot go, every year the Lord comes out, and then he gives his audience to everyone in outside the temple also. And it is said that the Lord doesn't have any eyelids because he is so eager to see his devotees that he doesn't have eyelids. And similarly, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wants to give his mercy to everyone indiscriminately, without thinking that, oh, this person is qualified, this person is not qualified. No, he wants to give it to everyone, and that's why there is so much similarity in terms of the mood and the purpose or the motivation behind the Lord's appearance. And every year, the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu encouraged all the Bengali Vaishnavas to participate in this unique festival by encouraging them to come to Puri. And Lord would very lovingly receive the Bengali Vaishnavas, and he would have them get hosted in the Kashi Mishra's house. So how did all the Ratha Yatra preparations happen? So it was a very elaborately planned process. And how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did was, he first inaugurated the Bada Kirtan. Means Bada means huge Kirtan. What it means is he organized all his disciples into 4 groups, and then he sent them in 4 directions. And the sound that was coming from this Sankirtan, Nama Sankirtan movement was so much that it reverberated throughout the whole 14 planetary systems. That's what Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says. And it was so enthusiastic that the Lord himself would be present in all four parties at the same time. He expands himself into each of these parties. The devotees will see the Lord playing with them, and they will come back after the kirtan and say, hey, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was with us doing the kirtan, like as if it's like they want to show off. And the other devotee party says, no, the Lord is with us also. So every party was able to see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu with them. And when the Lord was chanting, he would go into ecstasy, and the tears would come out of his eyes as if the water was coming from a syringe. So it used to go like a fountain, like out of his eyes. And looking at him, the devotees, everybody will get ecstatic. Next, once the thing is done, before the Ratha Yatra, you know the Ratha Yatra, right? So it is basically the Lord leaves the temple and then he goes to Gundicha temple and he stays there for a few days, and then I think 15 days, and comes back to the temple. And the place where he stays is called Gundicha temple. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his associates, they go to the temple beforehand and they do the cleansing process. And they do it so thoroughly that you can see even the footprints of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu standing in the temple when he becomes ecstatic, and the stone also becomes melted and his footprints gets imprinted on a hard stone. Um, and it was not like a ordinary thing, it is deep cleaning. He used to organize all the associates and devotees into different groups and assign them different activities, and everybody used to do them very joyfully. What we can understand from this cleansing process is just like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, whatever he did, whatever he does, whatever his instructions were all for us to take guidance from. So his actions, his behavior, he came in the mood of a devotee. Whatever he does, we'll have to follow. We can easily follow, because if you take Krishna, he is the supreme powerful, and we people might say, "Oh, Krishna is all supreme Lord. How can I?" There'll be illogical arguments presented that, "Oh, I don't know how to uh, participate in the devotional service to Krishna. I don't know how to do that." Yad yad acharati shreshtas tat tat eh, so what it means is that whatever the learned persons implement, the ordinary men follow. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Krishna came as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the mood of a devotee, as a devotee himself. So whatever Chaitanya Mahaprabhu does, we can replicate, or we can follow in his footsteps exactly like that. So just like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was cleansing the Gundicha temple, we have to cleanse our hearts. That is the thing we can take from here, which is by doing the cleansing, we will get rid of all the, just like by cleansing the temple, all the dirt was removed. By doing the cleansing of our heart, all the anarthas will be gone away. And how does the cleansing of the heart happen? Anyone? What we can do to cleanse our heart?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, by doing chanting, doing devotional service.
Yes, chanting. Chetodarpanamarjanam bhavamahadavagni nirvapanam Shreya Kairav Chandrika Vitaranam Vidyavadu Jeevanam Anandam Buddhivardhanam Pratipadam Purnamrita Swadanam Sarvatma Snapanam Param Vijayate Sri Krishna Sankirtanam. So the Cheto Darpana Marjanam, just like Gundicha Marjanam, our Cheto Darpana, our heart is like a mirror, and it will get cleansed of all the anarthas by doing the chanting. And in what mood we have to chant? That's the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave all the instructions in his Sikshamrita, Sikshastakam. Yes. Trinadapi Sunichena, Tarorapi Sahishnuna, Amanina Manadena. Kirtaniya Sadahari means we should be humbler like a blade of grass. Somebody stamps it, will the grass retaliate or retort? No, right? It bends. If it is like a thorn, like people step on it, it pierces, it pricks them. But the grass, we should be very humble. And and if we are like a thorn and if we prick someone, they will take the thorn away and throw it somewhere. But if it is grass, people will walk and the grass is still there. It gets up after it's done. And similarly, we should be tolerant like a tree. People will try to put us down and all, but a tree, just like it takes all the hits from the stone to get the fruits, our focus should be on bhakti, and we should not worry about. We should be tolerant to all the things that come. And even though people don't respect us, we should always respect others. And in that mood, if we chant, then the Lord will manifest. Just like Jagannath manifests in Gundicha temple, the Lord will immediately manifest in our hearts. And so what are the lessons we can take from the Rath Yatra preparations? Before the ecstasy of Rath Yatra could even manifest, three things happened. What are those? First, the devotees arrived from different places. And there was congregational chanting, Bada Kirtan. And finally, the cleansing of the Gundicha temple. So similarly, we have to follow these steps in the devotional process. What are those? Sadhu Sangha. We have to always be in the association of devotees. We have to do bhajana kriya. We must be determined to chant the holy name always. And anarthanavritti. Then cleansing of the heart. And before we come to this stage, what is the first step in the 9 stages of devotional service? Before Sadhu Sangha.
Shraddha.
Shravanam.
Yeah, the Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu are the 9 types of devotional service. Anything we can do, but this is the 9 stages. So first one is Shraddha. We should have faith. What does faith mean? Faith doesn't mean blind following. Faith means that if I follow the instructions that are given to me, that I will get the result that is mentioned in the scriptures. So that is the faith, and we can't just have blind faith. We can see that it is called what is that? Pratyakshagamam dharmam susukam kartam avayam. If we follow the devotional service, we will be able to see the results of the devotional service ourselves. It is not like an end result where we blindly keep faith and do for like 60 years, 70 years, then the result comes. No. As we keep on chanting, we can see the transformation within our heart in real time. So, and then susukam kartam avyam means by doing this devotional service, we become very happy. So that is the Shraddha. Shraddha means the strong faith that the process I am taking up will yield the results that are prescribed by the acharyas. Then, after that, once the faith is established, then we immediately. What happens? We are in Maya, right? So when we are in Maya, when we are in this material world, Maya will capture us. So faith for the faith to solidify, to become complete, means like to have full conviction, we need help from other devotees. So that's called the sadhu sangha. And if you take one stick, breaking the stick is very easy. But if you take a group of sticks, is breaking the sticks easy or difficult? It is very, very difficult. It's next to impossible. So if we are in a group of devotees, Maya cannot break us. Maya cannot even bend us. So we have to all try to be as much in the association of devotees. Then it's not like we are one weak stick surrounded by devotees and we don't put any effort, right? We have to also make ourselves strong, so we give support to other devotees. So that's the bhajan kriya. We have to do that. And when we keep on doing this chanting, then gradually our heart will become cleansed. Now starts the Ratha Yatra. So that is the ecstatic festival of the chariots that happens in Jagannath Puri. Thousands of pilgrims from around the world every year come to Ratha Yatra. It lasts for 10 days. Yeah, so it is not 15 days. Jagannath leaves the temple and stays in Gundicha temple for 10 days and he comes back. And why it is so important is it helped Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was able to fulfill the 2 purposes of his descent through the Rath Yatra procession. What are those? One is the external preaching and the next one is the internal mode. Let's see those in detail. The external preaching is during the Rath Yatra, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu organized the Sankirtana parties into 7 groups, placing singers in instruments and dancers in each one. Similar to the Rath Yatra preparations, he would expand himself in all those 7 parties. And you know about Rath Yatra, right? The crowd, it's one of the most um, widely populated festival where you see a lot of people. You don't even have room to stand. Um, you don't even have room to go near the chariots also. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would be so much ecstatic doing the kirtan there that and he would be spreading that ecstasy to all the people. And the external, what a better opportunity than spreading the Sankirtana movement with such a populous place, right? If you have the medicine to cure the disease, if you go to the people where if you go to the place where there are a lot of patients, it will be more useful, correct? Or if you go to a place where you have one or two people visiting, then it will not be used. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has the medicine that will cure our material disease very easily. And the Rath Yatra festival is the place where millions of people will come. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used that opportunity to spread that Sankirtana movement like very vastly. And what is the internal mood? The internal mood is it is very special actually. The mood in which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu does. While dancing, he used to recite the prayers, the verses that Srimati Radharani uttered in the mood of Vipralamba Bhava, which means that in the mood of separation. Like when she sees during the Krishna's pastimes, after Krishna leaves Vrindavan and goes to Dwaraka, during a lunar eclipse, as per the prescription or the prescribed principles, Krishna with all his queens comes to the banks of the river Yamuna to offer prayers, and the people from Raja also go there to offer prayers, and they are on the other side, and the gopis are on this side. They request, they at the time Srimati Radharani keeps praying in her heart, I want Krishna to come back to Vrindavan, and they also meet Krishna briefly. And the verses at the time were that Radharani says are the same verses that Lord also repeats. So he immediately takes the mood of Srimati Radharani in the Vipralamba Bhava, which is in the mood of separation, and that Lord Jagannath is coming from the temple to Gundicha temple is symbolic of Krishna coming back to Vraja. So in that mood, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also feels extreme ecstasy. So that is what we can understand from how the Rath Yatras was done. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu stayed there for 3 to 5 years and conducted the Rath Yatra before going to Vrindavan. But there is also a wonderful pastime with King Prataparudra during that time. So King Prataparudra has a strong desire. He was the king of Orissa. Orissa is where Puri is, right? So he came to know about Lord Chaitanya and his wonderful pastimes, and he really wanted to meet Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So he requested Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya for a personal interview with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, again being an example for all of us, he did not want to associate with people who are involved with material affairs. What is that in the nectar of instruction that we have to avoid? Janasangasya. So we have to avoid the association of worldly minded people. And that's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not want to meet him. But King Pratapadra was very, very wanting to meet him. Without giving permission, king also cannot go, even though he is being a king. Then Ramananda Raya, you all heard his pastime where he works in that kingdom. And after retiring from all his duties, Pratapadra relieves him from all the government duties. And Ramananda Raya goes and he starts serving Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And he goes and he tells about all the great things that Prataparudra does. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's heart a little bit softens, and he blesses the king, saying that, oh, let there be good mercy on the king and all. But he still doesn't want to meet the king. But then Nityananda Prabhu gives him a suggestion, saying that, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, give him your garment, so it will be at least you are not meeting him. The king will be happy. And sure enough, the king Pratapadra felt very very happy to receive the garment of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. After some time goes by, and again Prataparudra puts a petition to Ramananda Raya this time. So you see, first he tried with Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, then with Ramananda Raya, and again he tries another try with Ramananda Raya to ask Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Then finally Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, "Okay, let me meet the king's son, because meeting a son is as good as meeting the father." So you see how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is so strict in terms of following the principles of a sannyasi and the devotional services that he is doing. So we have to follow in the same way. But would King Pratapadra give up? No. So during a Rath Yatra festival one time, Prataparudra actually spontaneously goes and starts sweeping floor, sweeping the road path in front of Lord Jagannath's cart. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sees that and sees how meek and humble so far he has heard about, he knows, but to be as an example, he has heard about all the humility and all about of Prataparudra, but he himself clearly he saw that what Prataparudra was doing, and with his mercy he gave the transcendental vision to Prataparudra during the Rath Yatra festival. And as the carts were progressing towards Gundicha, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went into ecstasy and he fell down on the ground. And Prataparudra, what he did, he was right there and he immediately ran towards him and caught Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Was Lord happy about that? You are not supposed to touch a sannyasi just like that, because if you are a disciple, then yes, you can do, but otherwise you have to be cautious. So the Lord, kind of to be as an instruction to his associates, showed a little anger. But then Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, he knows the Lord's intention, so he Pratapadra was a little scared looking at the anger of the Lord. But then Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya assured him, "Hey, don't worry, everything will be all right." And then what happened? Then after the Rath Yatra was done, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu goes into the Gundicha gardens to take some rest. What does Pratapadra do? He actually dresses himself as an normal person without any extravaganza, like all the opulences that he has. And he goes and he starts massaging the Lord's lotus feet. And what does he do? He starts reciting the Gopi Gita, like the songs that all the gopis sing in the mood of separation from Lord Krishna. And the Lord, he immediately goes into ecstatic mood and he embraces Prataparudra. And Prataparudra understands that he now finally got the full mercy of the Supreme Lord and he becomes overjoyed. So what we can understand from the pastime of, can you hear me?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay, yeah, something is stuck. One second. Yeah, sorry about that. So finally, King Prataparudra receives the full mercy of the Supreme Lord. So what we can learn from King Prataparudra's pastime is that there are so many things we can learn, but main thing is there are three principal qualities that we have to take that were embodied by the king himself, which is desire. The king had a very burning desire. He understood that no amount of wealth and riches, power, position will not bring him any happiness. And he wanted that spirituality. He had the spiritual desire to meet the Supreme Lord, and that desire was so strong. What he did? Did he try to approach by himself? No. He went through he took the direction from the saintly persons, uh, sadhus. So he approached Sarvam Bhattacharya, he approached Ramananda Raya, who are all great exalted devotees, and through them he wanted to achieve spirituality. Similarly, we all should have that strong desire to perform devotional service, to render devotional service to the Lord, and in that we have to take also guidance from um, the advanced Vaishnavas. And was he successful right away? No. He tried one time, he tried two times, he tried three times, and he kept on trying. So it is also says that there are 3 Ds for in success, right? What is determination, dedication, and discipline. So first is foremost, the determination should be there. Yes, Maya will give us so much challenges. We will not be, as soon as we start doing spirituality, our material side of things will start sometimes uh, going havoc. But we have to not worry about that. Our focus should be on, no, that is not my ultimate goal. My ultimate goal is to go back home, back to Godhead, and Krishna will take care of all the things for me. Yoga Kshema Mahamyaham. So first, let me put my focus on making progress in Krishna consciousness only. So then, if you see how many times he tried, his determination was unbreakable. He did not give up. He did not think that, oh, I am a king. If Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is an ordinary sannyasa, if he did not have in that mood, because a lot of people will have, right? Oh, if someone did not give them attention, they'll like, who is this person who did not give me any attention? I am a great person, and then they will immediately leave that place. But he, being the king of Orissa, where Puri is located, which is under his jurisdiction, and a sannyasa, of course, he is the supreme lord. But it is, and that goes back to the desire. He knew that he is the supreme lord, and his desire was to go back, have spirituality. If you are in the material mood, yes, those things will immediately come. The pride will come when somebody did not give attention, did not give permission for us to meet. But he crossed those. He was already a pious king. And with that, in terms of determination, he tried again and again and again. Krishna showed that you will not be able to achieve him so easily. We have to show how sincere we are, and we have to keep trying. So now, what is the Ratha Yatra connection with Srila Prabhupada, the founder Acharya of ISKCON? Right from his childhood, Prabhupada was very much in love with Ratha Yatra. From age 5, his father brought him a 3-foot Ratha Yatra, and then Prabhupada used to decorate it and follow all the exact steps that were executed in Puri in Ratha Yatra, and he and his friends would do it as a procession, and they pulled the cart, and Prabhupada chanted, they played the clay drum, and then they did singing, dancing, and distribution of prasadam. And that continued. Even when he came to USA, like in 1967, he came in 1965, but in 1967, he inspired the first Rath Yatra outside of India. Until then, all Rath Yatra was always happening in Puri. Just like the Supreme Lord is merciful, Prabhupada is also merciful. He wants to bring the Supreme Lord to all places in the entire world, every nook and corner in this world. So he inaugurated the Rath Yatra, and then how did they do? Did they have the Ratha there? They did a makeshift. So in San Francisco, they rented a flatbed truck, and then they converted it into a Ratha, and then went it as a procession. And it was new for a lot of people, and everybody was amazed, in awe, looking at what's happening, and they all was very much happy and started chanting and dancing. And even half a century later, that is still going on. It's spread across the entire world. Um, and the effects are so that if a person who sees the Lord's Ratha Yatra festival and then stands up to receive the Lord can purge all kinds of sinful results from his body. We have done we have accumulated so many sinful reactions from birth after birth, millions of lifetimes. All those will be going away if we just participate in the Ratha Yatra. And thanks to Srila Prabhupada, Now we don't have to go to Puri. Of course, we should have that strong desire, like King Prataparudra, to actually see the Lord in Jagannath. But then, thanks to Srila Prabhupada, given Kali Yuga and all those things that we have, the Lord Himself was brought to every place in the world. So we should all take advantage and participate in the Ratha Yatra. So that concludes the Ratha Yatra pastimes. Now we'll go to the Lord's Vrindavan pastimes. There is one desire that was always escaping from fulfilling in the Lord's heart. What is it? The Lord wants to visit Vrindavan, Vraja. And he tried to go there 2 times. First, when he took initiation from Ishwarapuri, he wanted to go straight to Vrindavan, but he did not go there. Why? Because he had to inaugurate the Sankirtana movement in Navadvip. And that is his main purpose, right? Which is in this Kali Yuga, Harir Nama, Harir Nama Eva Kevalam, Kalau Nasteva, 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 Gataranyata. Means in this age of Kali, there is no other means of deliverance other than the holy name, the holy name, holy name. So if Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not have inaugurated that, he would have gone to Vrindavan, and then what is the purpose of him coming? The only purpose is to make us all go back home, back to Godhead in Kali Yuga, making the process so easy. So that's why he had to go to Navadvip to inaugurate the Sankirtana movement. Then after coming there, he also accepted sannyasa. Then he again wanted to go to Vrindavan. He actually took steps towards it. Means he started going there, but then Nityananda Prabhu played a trick. Like he told him, "Oh, this is this direction of Vrindavana," but he directed him back to Shantipur in near West Bengal. Of course, it is a pastime that we can discuss that later. But again, Lord Satam failed, and this time he said that okay, the time has come, because there are so many things that the Lord had to do that were pending in Vrindavan. If you go to Vrindavan now and see so many things, those were all uncovered by the Lord Himself. And how He was able to uncover, we'll see that. So while residing in Jagannath Puri, he again resolved to go to Vrindavan. But again, he was afraid of the separation that the local devotees will have, and the local devotees also requested him, please don't go like that. So based on the request from the devotees, he stayed there. And also the devotees from Bengal used to come. They used to come towards the Ratha Yatra time and stay for the 4 months, which is called the Chaturmasya. And then they go home after Diwali, celebrating like Dasara and all those festivals, and go back home. And during all those festivals, the Lord would personally instruct all the devotees until they went home, and he would encourage them. These things happened for like 3 years straight, and then the Lord decided, okay, now the time has come. I have to go. Did he go just like that? No, he still took permission. He asked um, Sarvam Bhattacharya and Ramananda Rai, please, I want let me go there. And see, that is the mood. We should all take, even though we might be senior most, if so many devotees are dependent on us, we should give them care, and we should tell them, hey, I'm going to this place. Any problems? Of course, the Lord can do Himself. Like nobody can stop Him. But then He is showing us that when somebody is dependent on us, we should not leave them in the mid-air like that. So, and then they gave him permission finally, and then he decides to go to Vrindavan, and then all the devotees also line up to start follow the Lord. The Lord said, "No, no, no! Please don't abandon your responsibilities. You have to stay here, and I will travel alone." See, that is another example we have to take. It is nice to go to places, but then if there is a service that is dependent on us, we should be more giving more importance to the service, because by rendering the service, we are associating with Krishna. Of course, going to the dam is good, but then or going to the place is good, but then if are we in the right mood to go to that place? We have the more service we do, the more pure we become, and the more pure we become, the more the dam will manifest in our heart. So it's not like people who all go. There are so many people living in Vrindavan, Puri, Jagannath Puri, Mayapur, and all. But are they all pure devotees? Yeah, there are pure devotees, but not all of them, right? The reason is that for them, the dham will not manifest. It will be, they will be only on the layer, behind the dham will be covered by a layer of maya, so they cannot see the real dham. But the more purer the devotee becomes, the more the real dham will manifest within the heart. And in Vrindavan, actually, we will read in Nectar of Instruction that the the devotees of the Supreme, the associates of Krishna are still there, the gopis, manjaris, everybody. And we can hear from the past times from a lot of people who are pure that when they go, sometimes the gopis also come and talk to them. But we are not at that level. We have to keep on cleansing our heart first, chanting. And then when we get an opportunity, we have to serve. And there are so many wonderful pastimes Chaitanya Mahaprabhu does on his way to Vrindavan, which is on the way he comes into the Jharkhand forest, and in that forest there are so many wild animals like big tigers, elephants, some deer, and it is very dangerous. But then he crosses through the jungle and does this Sankirtanam, and not just the people, right? Even the wild animals join the Sankirtana party. They get so much ecstatic and they start singing Krishna, Krishna, like that. Even the animals, everybody, his associates are of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are shocked to see how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is able to make the animals also chant the mantra, Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. And now the Lord reaches Vrindavan. In Vraja, there are so many pastimes that the Lord does. And what is the first and the main event that Lord does? He discovers the Radha Kund. And we read from Nectar of Instruction, right? Just like in the spiritual, just like in the material world, even in the spiritual world, there is a gradation of different places. So, for example, above the material world is the um, Kailasha, and above Kailasha is the Vaikunta, and even above Vaikunta is the Mathura, and above Mathura is the um, Vraja, and in the Vraja, the foothills of Govardhan are the topmost, and in the foothills of Govardhan, the Radha Kund is even the topmost. So it is mentioned that Radha Kund is the topmost place in the spiritual world, and that Radha Kund was not, it got hidden after Krishna left this material world. We went back to his abode. It got hidden. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he went to Raja and he was searching for it for a long time. Like uh, he was going to different places. And finally, when he came across the place where there is a small, little water, and he immediately went into ecstasy because he understood, he immediately saw that this is the same place where the Radha Kund pastime happened. Srimati Radharani dig the Radha Kund. And why he was able to find? Because he was Krishna himself. Nobody else could find Radhakund other than he himself. And as soon as he found it, he called all his associates, and the six Goswamis, they played a humongous role in uncovering or rebuilding all these um, temples and these different ecstatic places in the Rajabhumi. And yeah, they construct this Radha Kund, and it is now still there helping all of us to go and take a dip. Of course, we are not qualified to take a dip. We'll just take some water and sprinkle on our. And he also had a desire to take a darshan of the deity of Gopal. But see, this is the thing we have to all take example. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna himself, but he did not want to even step on the Govardhana hill. But we see a lot of people go to Vrindavan and they start digging Govardhana hill to take the rocks from there. No, we should not even do that. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was thinking twice in terms of stepping on the Govardhana hill. But we should also follow in his footsteps. And it is mentioned that if you want a Govardhana Shila to worship, you should not get it. Someone like a devotee or a resident of Vrindavan should give that to you. You cannot take something out of the dam and bring it by yourself. Okay, so as soon as the Lord embraced the rock from Govardhana hill, he immediately became overwhelmed with ecstatic love. There are so many other pastimes, but in the interest of time, we can go later. So he spends some time in Vrindavan. He meets with Rupa Goswami. He also meets with Sanatan Goswami sometime later, and then he instructs both of them. Um, and then on the way back, so they decide to leave Vrindavan, and then he starts coming on the way back. When he passes Gokula, he hears a small cowherd boy play the flute. As soon as he hears the flute, the Lord goes into ecstasy and falls down unconscious. And at the same time, there are some Muslim soldiers who are passing that way, and they think that associates of the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu might have attacked the sannyasi, and they're trying to harm him. They immediately try and attack the associates of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But then, just in time, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wakes up and he says them, hold on, these are my associates. It's me that I went into ecstasy and I fell down. And then there will be a very nice conversation that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has with those Muslim soldiers. See, so, for example, if we want to convince someone, we have to uh, tell in the way that they understand. Then the impact will be much higher. Um, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Krishna himself, right? He knows everything. He knows all scriptures. He knows the Quran. He starts discussing about topics from the Quran, and then he explains them in the way to understand that the ultimate goal is devotional service. And immediately after, and it is the power of an devotee. We all wants to preach, and sometimes we wonder why my preaching is not effective. Of course, we should not say give up, just like King Pratap did not give up. We should continue to preach, but if we want our preaching to be more effective, we have to also purify ourselves. The more sincere chanting that we do, chanting is like three levels, right? What is it? Namaprat, Namabas, Shuddhanam. If we keep on chanting in the Namabas stage, at one point, sometimes if we come to the like once or twice, if we do a Shuddhanama, means always thinking, always meditating on the Supreme Name, the purity will increase, and our impact on others will also increase. So yes, so Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he gave this transcendental knowledge to the Muslim soldiers, they are Pathans actually. They all converted to Vaishnavas. They are called the Pathan Vaishnavas. And Rupa Goswami and Sanatan Goswami are working in a kingdom. And they, as soon as they hear that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is in Vrindavan, they immediately, they also met him once, but now they want to associate with him or spend more time with him or take direct instruction from him. Rupa Goswami immediately leaves and resigns his post. And he's a great example for all of us. He got so much. He is a government minister. He has so much wealth, opulence. He takes 50% of the money and he uh, gives it to all the people to spend on the devotional activities and all. Remaining 50%, he gives 25% to his family for their well-being, and remaining 25% he puts it for his like travels to meet Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So when we are at the time of retiring, we have to see how, if we want to distribute our wealth, we have to follow the same example. We are what is it called? Ishavashamidam sarvam yat kincha jagatyam jagat tena tektvena bhunjita ma gruda kasya siddhanam. Means everyone is allocated a quota. It doesn't belong to us. Nothing belongs to us. It's Krishna who gave it to us. And we, on the other hand, if we keep claiming claiming we as the proprietor, then we are nothing but thieves. Because if you are walking in a park on a bench, there is a cell phone. It's not yours. But if you claim that to be yours, you become a thief. Even though nobody was there, the owner was not there. So this whole material world was created by the Supreme Lord. So every one of us is trying to be the proprietor. And as soon as we claim the proprietorship, we immediately become a thief. We have to understand that this nothing belongs to us. Krishna gave. So Krishna gave us 100% at the time of retiring, 50 years or 60 or 65. 50% we should utilize for devotional activities. Of the remaining 50%, 25% we should use for our family benefit, and remaining 25% we can keep it with us for our needs or continue to spend. So like that, Rupa Goswami was able to very quickly go and associate with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and get a lot of instructions. But Sanatana Goswami, he was not fast enough, basically. And then when he decides to also go, maybe it's not fast enough, but he within a few days he also wanted to go, but the king got panicked. Oh, these are my two big ministers, and if they both go away from the kingdom, how will the kingdom survive? So he gave permission to Rupa Goswami, but he did not give permission to Sanatana Goswami. Sanatana Goswami was really, really sad that he did not get connection, that he from the king to retire and go to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But then what he does, he says that he is sick, and then he stops going to the kingdom, and within his house he starts conducting more activities which are devotional activities. One day the king comes to see, and then he sees that Sanatana Goswami is all fine but engaged in these activities. Then he becomes very angry, and he says, Sanatana Goswami, you need to come back to the kingdom and do your duties. So it all happens that actually he puts Sanatana Goswami in jail. Sanatana Goswami uses the money that was saved, and he bribes the jailer, and then he escapes, and he goes through different ordinances, and then he finally reaches Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in a very disheveled state. Means like he goes through a murder attempt also, like where he and his associate, where they stay in a hotel. The hotel owner tries to kill them, thinking that they have money. Of course, his associate has some money, but Sanatan Goswami immediately says, "Give that money away." And as soon as he reaches Chandrasekhar, the devotee Chandrasekhar's house, he meets Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu receives him very personally and gives him instructions for 2 months on the science of devotion. And Sanatan Goswami goes through these instructions, and then he writes so many books following the instructions of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Similarly, Rupa Goswami also wrote a lot of books by the instructions he received from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And revisiting the past time, this is the time where it happens, where when he was in the Madhya Leela, when in that page, when he was in the Chandrasekhar Acharya's house, he is in Varanasi. Then he goes to Varanasi, and then there is the Mayavadi school there. They always keep on spreading about the wrong philosophy and all. The devotees keep on coming to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and say that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, leave them, leave them. But then finally, to satisfy the desire of his associates, he pays a visit to the house where the Mayavadis are residing, and the act of humility, right? That as being as an example, he stays in a very unclean place where they put the slippers, footwear for washing the feet, and he sits there. Prakashananda Saraswati, who is the leader of the Mayavadis, he notices Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Notices a big aura around his head, and then he says, "Oh, this is a great personality. Why is he sitting there?" And he immediately comes and personally invites him to sit with them. And then there was a discussion that happens, but then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is able to convince them about that Mayavadi philosophy is not the right philosophy, and then he converts them all to Vaishnavas. And then all the Mayavadis were stuck in awe about the whole Sankirtana movement, and then they start performing the Sankirtana. They give up the Sankirtana movement, and they join the party. So that concludes the pastimes from Madhya Leela. Any questions or comments, corrections, feedback? Reflections? Can you hear me?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay, yeah. All right, if there are no questions, then we'll wrap. Tomorrow will be the Antya Leela pastimes. We'll say Hare Krishna Mahamantra once, and we'll close today's session. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare.
भगवान श्री कृष्ण परमात्मा की जय. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. All Vaishnava devotees, Hare Krishna. Thank you everyone. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare
Thank you.
Krishna.
Thank you.
Thank you.